I just wanted to get the full, he erased to erase this stuff. The first time I ever approached him, I was, you know, I was exceedingly upset about some things that I had been working on regarding a case that centered around the date of his profile picture here, which is how I initially found Greg Willis and ever approached him in the first place. I quantified some data as part of QCR, which is quantitative crisis response. And, we were looking into the investigation that happened between the Texas Rangers and the Plano Police Department with September 11th shooting that happened, the September 10th shooting that hit the media on September 11th. We were trying to discern if this was a psychological operation in the media. We have seen these things before. We do investigate them. We do work with a lot of different people on these types of things. And so um, I just wanted to be clear about that, document that, and kind of let him know like how I found him. I was doing some quantification stuff, and what happens? He popped up right here because of the profile picture date on this particular picture. And so um, there you have it. And so I'll go ahead and start this from the top. I say, Merry Christmas, Mr. Willis. I'm offering to give you a hand on some things, and I would like you to review some of my work personally so you can see that I only work high profile cases when it comes to these types of issues. As a prosecutor, I'm sure that you are able to recover the facts to validate what I'm saying is true. This particular information will only have key information. This particular profile will only have key information. And that's going to be Will Hurl right there, the guy with the javelin in his hand, with the DARPA mission picture there. And I go on to say that, Greg, some people in your office said that you would not be interested in receiving information regarding child crimes in Collin County. However, I haven't heard that from you. And I haven't heard it from him. Please refer to the website on my page for more information and read the URL as it shows what we're doing here. The strategic advantage of social media platforms is imperative on these types of operations, and I hope that you understand the necessity of me to utilize them as such. Thank you, and please enjoy your holiday. And, when I say that this profile, Will Hurl, has a hard-hitting information on it, I'm going to give you guys an example of this. The location tag shown on this picture, which is marked TSR, traces back to the home address of George W. Bush, where an illegal server was found, essentially, okay? A server containing illegal material. And let me show you this. This was back on January 22nd, 2017. And this was an imperative and operation I was working. And it's one of the things that, when you look at this kind of stuff and you understand what's really going on and the mindset of these people, it's not good. It's not good. And we were investigating this TSR, Computer Repair Service, 10141 Daria Place, Dallas. Okay? 75229. 10141. That's special right there. Oops. There we go. What did I say that address was, guys? 10141 Daria Place. The following month, however, Bush did go ahead and purchase a house in Preston Hollow, which is at 10141 Daria Place, which was built in 1959 and which sits on a 1.13 acre parcel according to public records. President George W. Bush buys 85 and 1 square foot house in Dallas, Preston Hollow neighborhood. Okay. So why does this computer repair service come back to that address? I'm here to tell you why. Okay. I'm going to let you know that I'm the only one that's ever posted or tagged anything at that location. And it was part of a special operation. Okay. I'm going to take you down here. I do work ops. I did release a video today about working with the Bushes. I am working a counter-sabotage operation. We do use analogous imagery and semantics as a method of security classification. This revolves around, of course, my initial work with the Pegasus stuff with Andrew Bashago and others. Um, and of course, Prometheus chops off the head of Medusa to allow Pegasus to then fly out. Greg actually did an operation called Medusa, and it is very relevant to this operation that I am currently working on. And we'll go down with my old man there next to old HW there, Poppy Bush. And I'm going to keep on going down here and get into, this is an interesting one here. This sheriff's deputy from Collin County begins to admit widespread corruption within his department. He really did do that. I leaned on him for a while. I would like Greg to be a great guy. And what am I looking for here is, let's see. Thought I had it here. I guess Judy's important to go ahead and note while I'm here. Judy is someone who has worked with satanic ritual abuse victims. Looks like, wow, she made it to the Dr. Phil show with this stuff. That's pretty cool. I have worked with her as well in an interview that we did here about the CIA satanic ritual abuse. And that's come to be known as SRA, hashtag SRA. There's a lot of people working on it right now. I would like to commend those guys, Laura Eisenhower, Robert David Steele, and many others, Shaka Stone, and the tribunal they've put together and all of this kind of stuff. This is an important work to do for the future, guys, because, like Robert says, we're judged on the way by we treat our children. And there's just some horrific stuff going on, and we have to stop this. And what I wanted to show you is right here, actually, guys. And so let me get back into that. Boom, right here. That is it. Oh, that's not it. That's it. That's a repository for some information there. Where did it go? Guys, I do my stuff raw. I do it on the fly. I maintain a cover. And if people want to judge me that as being unprofessional or something, it doesn't really bother me because they don't really get a scope of what's going on, And so, far be it from me to be able to judge them, and I certainly don't tolerate their judgment. And let me just show you how this works to give you guys a sense of this. Okay, I released this myself. On January 21st, 2017, and I'm going to read this to you guys and try to, show the mindset of what I was thinking at this time and the difficulty. It's hard, guys. So, January 21st, 2017. Information confirmed by clandestine servers concerning the Bush faction of Secret Service and their involvement in a pedophilia operation has been forwarded to President Trump, House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Congressman Jason Chaffetz, Congressman Trey Gowdy, as well as Heather Hayes from Fox 4 News and sources within CNN. I can personally confirm that this information is valid, as well as a virtual cornucopia overflowing with proof which has been validated by clandestine servers. That is a reference to the TSR marking, and that's what I meant by virtual cornucopia, the server there. In my lifetime, I have grown to abhor the unspeakable acts and suffering that are inherent to such wicked practices of multi-generational abuse. Coming from a family that has worked with the Bushes personally on many different levels, I can say that I truly hope this will be the foundation upon which they can move into the future with an understanding in the public of the forces that are at play in such things that are simply incomprehensible to so many of us. The future is right now. I do not make excuses for the actions of other people anymore. Then I personally carry them out, and it is my nature to seek accountability from those that have harmed other people. However, I am not their judge, and we move into the next phase of the corporate elite that have been pulling the strings behind the scenes. All people must come together as much as possible in order to prevent potential catastrophic events from unfolding. I love you guys. And, that's never been more relevant. Um, I'll go ahead and reference something that Laura Eisenhower has done. And I did mention that she's been working on this. She is clairvoyant. She does have the ability to tap into these things. And she's always been somebody that I respect in this regard. And she's been having these dreams about this stuff. I noticed that she was talking about that, and it's relevant to the post that I made about trying to stop these things from happening regarding the post that I made over there. So I just wanted to kind of show a connection between that because um, I think that it's important for to everybody to get on the same page. And we all have differences. We've all been through things, and particularly if we've been through some type of an abuse, we may not realize it. We may, um, you know, still be dealing with it, even if we have realized it. And we're all on different places with this. But if we can get to the place to where we have the same goals and we can focus on those goals, um, I think that's important. And so I was just going to try to reference one post here. And I don't think she's going to mind me putting this out because what have I just shown? I'm showing that we busted a server at George Bush's house. And, um, you know, we're working on this other case here with this DA in Collin County. And, you know, there it is. I have had two lucid apocalyptic dreams 2 nights in a row. And so all of this stuff is coming, and she's very intuitive when it comes into the collective. And so she's kind of a spokesperson on that for me. And so I think that's really neat that we're on the same page, and there's kind of a cycle there getting back into, this here where I get down into, um, you know, people need to come together as much as possible in order to prevent potential catastrophic events from unfolding. I love you guys. That was back almost 2 years ago now, guys. So, wow, a lot's happened since then. And, this should be impactful for people to understand how these profiles and these platforms work together. I mean, what does this say? This is from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which actually was founded by the great grandfather of Laura Eisenhower herself, who we just showed you there, and social media and strategic communication. With the spread of blogs, social networking sites, and media sharing technology, and the rapid propagation of ideas enabled by these advances, the conditions under which the nation's military forces conduct operations are changing nearly as fast as the speed of thought. DARPA has an interest in addressing this new dynamic and understanding how social media or social network communications affecting events, guys, on the ground as part of its mission of preventing strategic surprise. The general goal of social media and strategic communication program is to develop a new science of social networks, build an emerging technology base. Through the program, DARPA seeks to develop tools to help identify misinformation or deception campaigns and counter them with truthful information, reducing adversaries' ability to manipulate events. Bam! That is so important. I am totally on board with that. And, through the program, DARPA seeks to develop tools to help identify misinformation or deception campaigns and can counter them with truthful information, reducing adversaries' ability to manipulate events. That does go for domestic threats as well. And so that could certainly be foreign threats. We've seen a lot of that in the media. You don't see a lot about domestic operations because they're very secretive. And this is, you know, stuff that does go on. But I would like to show this when I said, I was quantifying data and I was led to Greg Willis's Facebook page, which was put up on September 11th. From phony news on websites to terrorist propaganda on social media to recruitment videos posted by extremists, conflict in the information domain is becoming an ubiquitous addition to traditional battle spaces. Given the pace of growth in social media and other network communications, this bustling domain of words and images, once relegated to sidelines of strategic planning, is poised to become ever more critical to national security and military success around the globe. And so, understanding and operating in the information domain poses a number of novel challenges, however. Many tools are available today to reveal whether rockets and bombs hit their targets or otherwise achieved their tactical goals, but no such tools are available to rigorously assess the effects of the volleys of information that are traded through social media and other communication channels. I would like to point out that a human interaction is imperative to make these links happen presently, and AI or anything isn't going to take the place of that. And it certainly hasn't in the cases where we can show um, how a human interaction has led back to, such things as finding a server over here, validating this information. And just let me show you guys what happened um, directly after this. This post was put up. Oops. This post was put up on the 21st, and the headlines started to pour in about pedophile arrests across the country. Um, Shortly thereafter, I mean within a matter of weeks, and we really saw that. And the Secret Service director resigned. You know, less than a month after I made that post, guys. There's the timestamp on that. 2017, 2/14, Valentine's Day. You know, of course, Secret Service is very relevant to this particular posting. We can see that here, and we can see this stuff reflected in dates, and that's something that you'll see throughout these types of posts. They're quiet and for operations, but you'll have timestamps that are like, "Oh my God, did this really have an effect that big on this?" And these operations are modeled that way. They are um, done this way. We use Facebook as a platform for really what amounts to unacknowledged special operations that are, we had 108 arrested in Illinois. They just started pouring in. By 6 months later, 6 months later, we had, um, close to 2,500 arrests across the country after this posts were made. So that's the fact of the matter. And if that's not heavy hitting, guys, I don't know what it is. To illustrate this for people is like, wow, we're still kind of in the place where people watch a lot of TV, and man, these are friends right here that I grew up with, and I want to be able to show this to them because I've worked on this for so long. It's probably the best Christmas present I could give to myself, guys, because I've worked long and hard on this shit, and damn it, nobody knows. They look at you like you're nuts, and it's fucked up, man. And the proof is right here in the pudding, y'all. And I do this because I love y'all. I love my friends. And I don't even have kids, man, but I went through this shit when I was a kid. And it's just something that if I find it, I'm going to lock onto it like a pit bull. I don't let go. I forward the information to my superiors, and I tell you, my superiors don't fuck around, y'all. And so, we're working these cases, man. And we're doing the real deal. And so that feels pretty good. And it is what it is. And so, Merry Christmas. That will be uploaded later on. And I don't mean this to defame Greg Willis. I want him to be a nice guy, okay? I'm afraid that he's not. I'm afraid that he's involved in this stuff. I know that we have problems out there in the judicial system because I've already interviewed witnesses, okay? I'll tell you flat out, I've already interviewed witnesses for this. And this case is building, and there's nothing that's going to stop it from going forward. And, you know, that's why I do things like go record a call from FBI. That's why I'll do things like record a call from McAllen County sheriffs and all these other people. I'll make it, um, you know, public information so we can come back and resort to it later. And at the same time, to kind of get back to something I was mentioning earlier, this is like a fusion style format. This is an unacknowledged special operation. There's people monitoring this information in real time that are not going to say anything, you know, and I can deliver that and bypass any type of um, cover up that's going to occur. These people. I was talking back to Judy Byington here, and she had worked with FBI very closely as somebody who had her own mental health project practice in Utah, and she, um, she she identified the MO of the satanic ritual abuse and kind of made a formula for this. And I have certainly identified this in Plano and um, in Collin County. And I don't really need that much help to begin with, although I did receive some from her because I've been through it myself. And so, um, to varying degrees, I mean, my story is a little different, and we all have different, things. But I, I've always been the guy who um, comes in and tears this stuff down, and it's not so much about tearing it down as it is building the new, and that's why I like to make new relationships with people and build them with people in the community out there. And sometimes I feel like I'm lacking on that. Um, and so I'm extending that hand out to people more and more so. I've talked to a lot of people in law enforcement, and this is the only area of focus that I really am interested in is this satanic ritual abuse, the child stuff, and to stop it from going on because it's terrible. And so, I know it's a different format for people. They, what? He TSR, hey, that's George Bush's address. Okay. All the arrests started happening after that. I've been around directors to some capacity all my life. Um, and it doesn't take much. And so these are powerful people. And the switch, this shows that we've had a shift in the CIA. Um, and I believe that, and I'm on board with that because um, I think that our director is great for our nation, and I think that she's involved with really helping to alleviate some of these things. And I think it's ironic that she was accused of the torture and everything, which to me just seems like a ploy for the guys who were doing the torture to make her look bad. And I want to be on record saying that because, I'm back, I'm here saying that clandestine service validated this information back in 2017. Well, guess who was the director of the clandestine service at that time? Was Gina Haspel. She is now the director of Central Intelligence, and we're not messing around. And so, um, all the love and respect there, and I hope that you guys will share this information and be like, man, watch this. What is it? What's Sonny talking about? Is this what? And so I just hope that gets to you guys, man. Merry Christmas, and hopefully I'll be talking to some of you guys soon, and we can get this stuff shared. And the operations are going to go on continually anyway, and sometimes that's been the reason to keep this quiet. Operational security. This was almost 2 years ago on that last one. Um, you know, the one that I'm working now um, isn't as high profile. And it may be a good place to go ahead and start dragging these guys out into the media. And that's really what we're looking to do on this. And so get excited about that. Get ready for that. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, guys. So much love.